Hello, and welcome to St. Francis House Workforce Development Department's webinar series. My name is Lisa, and today's topic is coping with stress. Stress has multiple definitions depending on the context. For the purpose of today's webinar, it is defined as a feeling of emotional or physical tension. It can come from any event or thought that makes you feel frustrated, angry, or nervous. Stress is the body's reaction to any change that requires an adjustment or response. The body reacts to these changes with physical, mental, and emotional responses. To identify your true sources of stress, look closely at your habits, your attitudes, and excuses. For example, do you explain away stress as temporary? Do you define stress as an integral part of your work or home life, or as a part of your personality? Do you blame your stress on other people or outside events, or view it as entirely normal and unexceptional? A stressor is defined as something that causes a state of strain or tension. So once you've identified the sources of stress, work on identifying solutions. For example, a stress journal can help you identify the regular stressors in your life and the way you deal with them. Each time you feel stressed, keep track of it in your journal. You may begin to see patterns and common themes, like what caused your stress? How did you feel both physically and emotionally? How did you act in response to that stress? What did you do to make yourself feel better? Think about the ways you currently manage and cope with stress in your life now. Are your coping strategies healthy or unhealthy? Helpful or unproductive? How you choose to cope with stress is also key, and you should be aware of both healthy and unhealthy dynamics. Some examples of unhealthy ways of coping with stress may be smoking, drinking too much, overeating or undereating, withdrawing from friends, family, and activities, using pills or drugs to relax, sleeping too much, procrastinating, taking out your stress on others. If your methods of coping with stress aren't contributing to your greater emotional and physical health, it's time to find healthier ones. There are many healthy ways to manage and cope with stress, but they all require change. You can either change the situation or change your reaction to the situation. When deciding which option to choose, it's helpful to think of the 4 A's: avoid, alter, adapt, or accept. Avoiding unnecessary stress. Learn how to say no. Know your limits and stick to them. Refuse to accept added responsibilities when you're close to reaching a determined goal. Avoid people who stress you out. If someone consistently causes stress in your life and you can't turn that around, limit the amount of time you spend with that person or stop seeing them entirely. Take control of your environment. Avoid situations or places that disrupt positive routines or cause you stress. Avoid hot-button topics. If you get upset over certain subjects, cross them off your conversation list. If others bring up the topic, excuse yourself or choose not to engage. Narrow down your to-do list. Analyze your schedule, responsibilities, and daily tasks. Drop tasks that aren't truly necessary to the bottom of the list or eliminate them entirely. Alter the situation. Express your feelings instead of bottling them up. If something or someone is bothering you, communicate your concerns in an open and respectful way. Be willing to compromise. When you ask someone to change their behavior, be willing to do the same. If you are both willing to bend, there's a good chance of finding a solid middle ground. Be more assertive. Voice your concerns and find solutions that work best for you. Deal with problems head on, doing your best to anticipate and prevent them. Manage your time better. Poor time management can often cause a lot of stress. Planning ahead can help you stay calm and focused. Adapt. Reframe problems. Try to view stressful situations from a more positive perspective. Try to analyze a stressful situation. Ask yourself how important it will be in the long run. Will it matter in a month? A year? Is it really worth getting upset over? If the answer is no, focus your time and energy elsewhere. Adjust your standards. Perfectionism is a major source of avoidable stress. Set reasonable standards for yourself and others. And remember, perfection is always a work in progress. Focus on the positive. This simple strategy can help you keep things in perspective. Accept. Don't try to control the uncontrollable. Focus on the things you can control, such as the way you choose to react to problems. Look for the upside. When facing major challenges, try to look at them as opportunities for personal growth. If your own poor choices contributed to a stressful situation, reflect on them and learn from your mistakes. Share your feelings. Talk to a trusted friend or make an appointment with a therapist. Expressing what you're going through can be very cathartic, even if there's nothing you can do to alter the stressful situation. Learn to forgive. Accept the fact that mistakes will be made. Let go of anger and resentments, and free yourself from negative energy by forgiving and moving on. Remember that stress is different for everyone. The solutions that work for you may not work for someone else. Realization that you're in control of your own life is the beginning of managing stress. For more information on stress and stress management, you can take a look at these websites: helpguide.org, brainline.org. The Center for Disease Control and the Boston Public Health Commission has extensive guidelines on how to deal with stress now in the time of COVID-19. And there you'll find printable materials that should prove informative. For more information and to get in touch with us here at Workforce Development, please email wfdinfo@stfrancishouse.org. Alternatively, you may also call us at 617-654-1257. Thank you for joining us for today's webinar.